In the last video, we created a model for to-dos and began fetching them using the with option in our find by ID call. We also hooked up our to-dos in the UI and created a few via Nokia's DevTools. In this video, we'll wrap up work on this page by completing the form implementation to create new to-dos and allowing the user to check off to-dos as they complete them. Let's start with our form. Similar to how we set up the list form, we need to import the useForm hook and the input component from Nokia Forms. Since this form will create to-dos, we also need to import that model from Nokia Magic. Next, we'll pass the to-do model to useForm, then replace the form and input elements with the form and input from Nokia. Like before, we'll use the isProcessing variable to disable the button while the form is communicating with Nokia's backend. If we were to try this right now, however, it wouldn't work. And that's because Nokia needs a hint on how to manage the relationship between the new to-do and the list it belongs to. We'll change our form component to accept a list as a property, then provide that list to the useForm call using the belongs to option. Then the form will take care of associating the new to-do to the proper list. The only other change we need is to pass the list to the form in our page component like so. Now we can try this in our browser, and it seems to work. Let's try another list to make sure the to-dos are properly scoped to the parent list. Our last outstanding task for this page is to hook up the checkboxes so that when a user checks them, the underlying to-do is marked as complete. First, let's set the value of the checkbox based on the isCompleted property. To respond to updates, we could wrap these in a form as well, but instead I want to show you a different way to illustrate how Nokia's model instances work. I'll add an onChange handler. Then inside that handler we can call todo.update and pass in the updated properties. As you can see, model instances in Nokia are more than simple objects. They also contain functions that allow you to update or even delete the underlying record. Now we can try this in our browser, and the state of the to-do persists even after we reload. So I think this page is done for now. In the next video, we'll briefly revisit the main page of our application before moving on to adding an authentication layer. See you then.